Welcome back to StoneMagpie for another WIP and Chat, and look at what I've done since we last spoke. This is the Pokemon picture that I was working on, and I wanted to show you all of the colours in this because I am super happy with it. I'm going to get you another close-up view. Just look at these beautiful colours. Oh, I love it. With the Pokemon here and all of this green in the background, it's just gorgeous, and it's got the oranges here for the ears. I have got my piece of paper. I did write down the names of the Pokemon. So we're looking at Glaceon here, who's a grass Pokemon. Thank you to Bella and Nadia again for telling me the names of everybody. It does help. And so the ears, oh, it's just gorgeous. I'll move along to the next Pokemon alongside. So these are the ears of Jolteon, who's an electric Pokemon. And look at the colours here. Look at that blend of really nice magentas and dusky purples with the ears depicted here as well. And look, I mean, it is quite reminiscent of the confettiness of the Josephine wall, with less colours though, but oh, you know how I love that, and you know how I love a little bit of confetti, and it's just gorgeous. Next, let me introduce you to Glaceon. Here we have Glaceon, a really cute Pokemon, and obviously I've been working more on him as I started in this right hand corner. So we've got a bit more of him to do before we move on to the middle, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So here is the section that we're going to be working on today. This, like I say, is Glaceon, and we need to just finish this part of the section. I do have a cup of coffee today. Coffee? I usually drink tea, but I fancied a coffee today. Honestly, the world's gone mad. And seriously, the world really is a crazy place at the moment. So I'm sending out lots of love and wishes to anybody that's going through any type of hardship at the moment. My thoughts are with you. We do diamond painting for some anxiety relief, so I won't be touching on anything else that's going on in the world during this WIP and Chat. We're going to have a nice time. So cheers everybody. I hope you've got a drink with you. My cup of coffee is actually on the coaster I made. Did you catch that tutorial? And I hope that you enjoyed it. It really is a really fun design, and it's nice to be able to use something quite practical. Okay, we're doing number ones today, starting there. You can see we've got lots here. I'm using the claw at the moment so that you can hopefully see my placements quite well, but I will have to move on to the multi-placer, and unfortunately it means that sometimes you can't see me actually placing the diamonds when I use the multi-placer, but it has to be done sometimes. Hopefully you are diamond painting along with me and you don't mind so much if you can't see me putting the diamonds down. I love it when you're diamond painting with me, as you know. I envisage you doing that with me, so there we are. Now, if you didn't see my unboxing on my other WIP and Chat, the diamonds for this kit actually come in this string of packets. So when I get to a big chunk, I'm tending to open up the packets and work from those rather than from the tubs. But when you don't use all of the diamonds all at once, it means that the tubs get quite full. So sometimes you're going to see me working out of tubs, and sometimes you're going to see me opening the packets. And that's the reason why. They can be annoying, those strings of diamonds, can't they? But sometimes it's actually quite helpful when you've got big areas to complete. You know me, I try and look at the positive side of things. Try to. So I'm just multi-placing the bits that I can at the moment, and then I will go on and fill in any of the singulars, should I say, with the claw. Now, I started this video with some close-ups of the painting so far that I've done off screen. What did you think? Did you like it? I'm loving using all of these different colours. I'm really, really enjoying it. I think even though we've got these chunks of colours, there are spots of really vivid colour, and it does remind me a lot of the Josephine wall. So, you know that I'm missing doing a Josephine wall, but they are just so big that I just can't find the time to get into one at the moment, unfortunately. I will go back to it. I am positive one day, when Ben isn't demanding that I do a diamond painting for him, perhaps. Perhaps that will be then. Yes. But I also had a question last week about how closely the diamonds sit together on this kit. So hopefully with that close-up view, you'll have been able to see that as well, to give you some idea. So not only have I been thinking of leftover projects this time, I also have been looking at kits, new suppliers, should we say, new shops, just getting a little feel of what might be out there at the moment. So I have placed an order yesterday. Oh, I know. I complain all the time about not having time to do anything, and then I go and buy new kits. But the thing is, I want to show you guys, if I hear of a supplier shop that I've not had before, I think it's really important that you get to see some unboxings for people that you've not seen. So that's another excuse that I use for buying kits. But do know that if I don't do the kits myself, I do donate them, or I keep them in the stash for another time. They are not wasted. Okay, I think that's important because especially in the current climate, there shouldn't be any wastage, should they? And if I'm buying kits and then throwing them away, I mean, ooh, you know, so just so you know, I'm not doing that, in case you're wondering. But I do think checking out places that you hear about and sharing honest views is important for people, because, you know, we don't have a lot of money to spare nowadays, with all of the rising energy costs and food shops and things like that. So we want to get our money's worth, don't we? I think I said on the last WIP and Chat that I am trying to do a nice mix of different costs for kits, to give you an idea of what you could buy. And then it's up to you whether you want to buy. If you had a certain budget, say, for example, £50, you could then judge whether you're better spending the whole £50 on one kit, or getting a few less expensive kits, but perhaps not getting the same quality. So that's what I aim to do, is give you those opinions. Sometimes though, when you do an unboxing, they look great until you start, and then there can be problems and things like that. So do bear that in mind with the unboxings. We give you our first impressions, and then sometimes if I do a kit, it can change. For example, if the squares don't line up quite as well as what I first thought, and things like that. So do bear in mind that the unboxings are just first impressions. Okay, these number ones, lots of these. They are sitting lovely together, and they do sit very snug on this canvas, so I do like it. I do. Just a moment ago, I don't know if you could hear this chicken in the neighbour's garden. They've got chickens behind us, and it's been quite vocal this morning, so you may well have heard that. I bet they get some lovely eggs from them though, so. I haven't had eggs for ages. I really need to make some. Ooh, what could I have? Scrambled egg. I love scrambled egg, and I loved what I call dippy egg, boiled egg, and soldiers. Yummy. I've realised I do talk a lot about food when I'm doing WIP and Chats. Usually sweeties, but I don't know why. I don't know why I suddenly start thinking of food when I'm talking to you. Oh, I hope I don't make you too hungry. Talking about food, I have, it's Mother's Day in the UK on the 27th of March, and I've booked a Japanese restaurant to take my mum to, which sounded a bit different. They're doing like a set meal, which they're calling the bentos box, and it's got a katsu curry and lots of sweet treats in it. So I'm really looking forward to taking mum out for that. She does like Japanese food, so I think it'll be a bit different. Quite nice, going into the city. So I'll be able to report to you what that was like, hopefully, on the next WIP and Chat. So Mum's going to set off from her house, get on the bus, and then I am, gosh, this is, if it works out well, this is the plan. I am then going to get on the same bus at my bus stop and meet her on the bus. Let's hope we coordinate it really well and end up on the same bus. Oh, can you imagine? Anyway, luckily, that's what mobile phones were invented for, weren't they? I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, my goodness. It could be an adventure, let's put it that way. I think Mother's Day in the US is a bit later in the year, isn't it? We seem to have it quite early in the UK in comparison. So I think, is it around June time in the US? Not quite sure. Oh, by the way, after the last WIP and Chat, I did have another look at that. I was talking about the Diamond Art Club and the Batman picture, and that the kiss would look really nice alongside it. And I did check it out again because I couldn't remember if it was Superman. Anyway, it is Superman and Wonder Woman kissing. Oof, who would have thought that, eh? I do remember watching Wonder Woman in probably the 80s with, was she called Linda? With her nice gold tiara and her star pants. Yeah. I think it was like it wasn't a tiara, was it? It was like a golden headband that was actually a concealed weapon. And she would take it out of her hair and throw it. I'm sure that's right. Bit like a boomerang. Anyway, yeah, so in this Diamond Art Club picture, I suppose if you can fly high up into the sky, why not have a kiss along the way? With the Caped Crusader. Oh no, that Caped Crusader's Batman, isn't it? I'm getting my heroes mixed up now. We can't be having that, otherwise people will jump and say, oh, silly girl. Oh, yes, I know what I needed to report to you. And this is really weird. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, to be honest. Because on my last WIP and Chat, I was talking about the Batman picture, as you know. Or if you didn't watch, you know now. From Diamond Art Club. And I was saying how drawn I was to it, even though Batman isn't my usual type of thing. Well, you'll never guess what popped up in my Facebook feed. It's not the new Batman film, you know, the new film that's out now. It's like an animated Batman, and you'll never guess who is voicing the Batman. The one and only Keanu. And if you watch my channel, you know that I have a massive soft spot for Keanu Reeves. And he is doing the Batman voice. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is so freaky. How I suddenly liked the Batman picture. Don't you think that's odd? I do. I thought it was well, I don't really believe in coincidences. So I thought there's something going on somewhere. Get that little friend out. That's made me notice Batman. So I think that's now the reason. I wonder what it'd be like at voicing Batman. It will be interesting, won't it? Batman in the style of Bill and Ted. Oh, I adore Keanu. Anyway. Yeah. So, do you believe in coincidences? Don't you think that is really freaky? I do. I mean, I am not in any Keanu Reeves groups on Facebook, and they keep popping up in my feed, which, you know, I don't complain about at all. It's rather nice. But the Batman connection thing, yeah, I was a bit like, somebody's trying to tell me something somewhere. I think it's that I'm going to meet Keanu one day and he's just going to drop at my feet. And ask me to marry him. Anyway, whew, I've got a bit flustered. I might have to change the subject rather quickly. Getting a hot flush. Oh, I don't know what to talk about now. Quick, what can I think about? What else was I going to say today? Oh yes, I know what I was going to tell you as well. Again, you know, I don't know. I think I look for signs and synchronicities and all of that sort of thing. I'm quite into it. And one morning I was driving along to work. I go along an old motorway, which is like an A road. So it's just one lane each way. You know, it's not a dual carriageway. And so I tend to go about 60 miles an hour. You know, I don't break the speed limit, but I do go quickly along the road. And I do tend to look out for little bits of nature on the way because it is a quiet road. Not many cars go down there. This is on a morning on the way to work. And so I can see a really lovely view, like a distant view. And I can also see lots of magpies playing in the trees beside, and sometimes the sun just hits beautifully and I can see all of their gorgeous colours in their feathers. And I just love it, and I always send up a little thank you for the gift of being able to see these beautiful things on my way to work. Well, one morning last week I was driving to work and I hadn't really seen a lot of the nature, you know, nothing sort of popped out at me. But as I was approaching the roundabout into town, I suddenly sort of naturally slowed down to about 50 miles an hour. And I don't really quite know why, because I was a little bit away from the roundabout. And suddenly a pheasant ran out across the road, and the sunshine was just, I was sort of in the cloudy bit, and this pheasant ran along in this sunshine pocket in front of me. Oh, it was glorious. The colours just sparkled off this pheasant. It was beautiful. Now, if I hadn't have slowed down, I would have probably hit this poor little bird, unless he was wise enough not to run out in front of a fast-moving car. I mean, 50 miles an hour is pretty fast, but he did make it to the other side of the road, thankfully. Oh, I was thrilled. It was stunning, absolutely beautiful. So there we are. That was my little story of travelling to work last week. It was so good. I should have maybe looked up what a pheasant symbolises. It might have been a message for me that morning. Slow down. Slow down just in case there's any birds want to cross the road. Maybe that was the message. Oh dear. Oh. Yeah, so normally I see lots of magpies playing in the trees or sitting right up high in the top of the tree. I love it. I'm like, oh, there's a magpie. Especially when the sun shines on them and you see that beautiful blue that they've got in their feathers. Right, so I'm just filling in these single number 3s now that I've been working on and not talking about because, you know, I've been rattling on about something else completely. So I want to make sure that I get all of these singular ones in. This Pokemon is a really pretty Pokemon. And now that I know that Eevee transforms, or should I say evolves, into any of these surrounding Pokemon, I can kind of see the resemblance. I'll get my piece of paper so you can see as well. So this is Eevee here. Where am I? There. This is Eevee. And she can evolve, look, into Flareon. But there's quite similar facially. This one is the Psychic Espeon with the jewel. That's like third eye, isn't it? That's what we're working on at the moment, the Glaceon. Can you see the resemblance? I can. Jolteon, Leafeon. I think, well, it's still got a slight resemblance for, I think that's Umbreon and Vaporon. And then this middle one is Sliveon, which is the fairy Pokemon. Oh, they're all cute, aren't they? So there we are. I've now got all of the names to hand. But I do like the fact that, like the greeny one on the left-hand side, has that green tinge to the background as well. I think it's really effective. I'm really enjoying these release papers as well. They're working well, you know, with doing 2 rows at a time rather than completely covering the canvas with it. As I said in my last video, because I bend the canvas under the table, it sort of rests on my legs. I didn't want to put release papers on in case it caused an issue with them. So that's the reason that I'm only doing 2 rows of release papers, in case you didn't get that information last time. So have I done all the number 3s? I think I have. Next, let's do P. P, 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 here we are. Oh, I'll tell you what I should have done. I should have brought my colour chart, shouldn't I? And said the names of the colours. Not to worry. I'll go and get it now. So P is 3042, which is, here's my book, 3042, there it is, Antique Violet. So that's the colour what we're doing at the moment, Antique Violet. It's quite nice, isn't it, to know the names of the colours that we're using, even if sometimes they are a little bit wrong, according to me. If you saw my kitting up, you'll know what I mean by that. I did the kitting up video. Oh dear. Right, that's P done. Let's do this little S symbol. So F is 3799. So 3799 is pewter grey, very dark pewter grey, correct. All right, a few of these dotted about, because this is like the background where it's morphing from one of the colourways into the next Pokemon. So although it's a bit checkerboardy, I quite like it. The effect of it's really good. It's a bit like a transition from one Pokemon to the other. Just got a bit of pink wax here, so these needle point tweezers are really useful for that. So I hope you've all had lots of time to diamond paint this week and you're getting on with your projects. Let me know if you're going to do any leftover type projects or whether you just like to work on kits rather than use up your spares. And if that's the case, what do you use your spares for? Do you just like to have them in your stash in case you run out on a diamond painting? Perhaps you don't keep your spares, perhaps you just throw them in the bin because you don't feel like you would ever use them. I think I need to look at my storage and do a bit of an update on it, because when I did my Space Invaders placemat, I felt like I had more spares than what I'd accounted for in this book of names. I tend to jot down what I have in my stash, and I think I've got more than what I've actually plotted. So I need to probably take a bit of time and have a look at it and make sure that I've accounted for all of them. I'm going to do number 7. There it is. So should we have a guess what colour? This is quite a tricky one, I think, to guess. Let's have a see at what number it is. It is 451. 451 is, can we see that there? Yes, Shell Grey Dark. Did you get it? Shell grey. Doesn't really look grey. It looks more taupey to me. Okay, there was only a couple of those in after all of that. So I think I'm going to do number 5 next. Let's have a look at this colour. Looks quite pinky, yes. And it is number 327. Have a guess. 327. Violet. This is the one I remember in the kitting up that I said I thought violet would be more purpley than this. Hands up if you agree. When you think of like Parma violets, I suppose is what I'm thinking of. I wouldn't call it this colour. I would say it would be more of a vivid purpley colour. Just like a more vivid violet. By the way, nobody's approached me to be a colour namer as yet, just to keep you updated. No, not had any approach on LinkedIn or anything. So they obviously think that I'm not that great at colour naming. And I failed my audition. So, right, that's those done. This one is shouting at me, this little symbol. So let's do those. There's a few down here as well. Okay, do you want to have a guess while I look at what that colour is? 3370. I'm thinking it's a light peach. 3370. 33. Oh, sorry, wrong page. 3370. Are you sure it's a 3370? Oh no, it's 3770. Goodness me. Oh, okay. I remember this now from the kitting up. 3770 is tawny, very light. Well, no, it isn't. No. Oh, I think I'm going to stop looking at the colours because it does annoy me a little bit. That is not tawny, is it? Right, I'm putting that book aside. I think I might just use it when I'm kitting up from now on. Or maybe I'm just a little bit grumpy today. Getting angry with the colours is not a good thing to do. It's not their fault. Right, let's put this beautiful tawny colour away. Just got a couple more there to do, I've just spotted. And another one. What should we do next? Let's do these. Oh, a number 1 there that I've left out. We'll quickly pop that in. From the pot. There we are. And let's do these G's. Ooh, beautiful. That is gorgeous. That's lifted my mood a little bit. Oh dear. StoneMagpie in a grump, that's no good. So beautiful, beautiful colour this. Oh, and that's why I think I'm loving this canvas, because suddenly it goes bing. Oh, I love that. I've just noticed some 5s up here as well, which I missed out. I might leave those for the next section, and we'll do these number 2s. Do a number 2. Oh, right, I've got my silliness back again. Hooray. Oh, dear me. And use the claw to fill in the singles. So have you treated yourself to anything diamond painting? Have you got yourself any new kits or new accessories? Anything to tell me? I like to know what you're up to, you know, guys. Right, I need to fill in these J's now, which was I was putting off because they're such a dark colour for you to see, but I will need to do it. Look at that full pot, and that's again because I've been opening all those packets. So even though it's a dark colour, they are gorgeous. Just I noticed on my other WIP and Chat that sometimes it is difficult for you to see these ones. When I look at the video afterwards, I may well speed this bit up if you can't see very well, because not only are they dark, I'm also multi-placing. So if it suddenly starts speeding up, that's the reason why. Just wondering if I could perhaps change the camera angle while I'm doing these. Let me have a play. Right, I wonder if this will be any better. You'll have to let me know what you think. I've changed the camera angle a little bit while I multi-place, and I'm hoping that you can see that a bit better now. But I'm not sure if it'll go fuzzy, you know, where it loses focus. I suppose I'll know in the editing if that happened, in which case I apologise because I can't quite see what's going on my camera now. Anyway, sometimes it's nice to try new things, isn't it, even if it doesn't work out. I know I've gone a bit quiet. I think I'm concentrating. It's kind of quite strange to have the camera in a different place. It does feel quite close. I've got a hair on my diamond pen, which I'll need to... It does feel quite close, so I hope you can't hear me breathing. I don't know. I mean, last week you had me eating my sweeties, crunching in your ear. This week you'll have me heavy breathing in your ear. I don't know. I am struggling a little bit with the placements as well because my viewpoint is obscured a little bit now. But as long as yours isn't, that's the main thing. So I'm hoping this is working. Oh, that went completely wrong. Anyway, nudge them into place. I guess that you're sort of watching it sideways now, which isn't ideal. Anyway, I'm only going to do this little bit of J's this way, and then I'll review it once I've finished this WIP and Chat this time, and if it works out okay, I may well repeat. Okay, doing singulars, so I'll do a few singulars this way round as well. With my claw. And we'll see what we think. Any feedback, opinions are useful. All right, I'm going to get my proper angle back now. There we are. Back the right way round. Did you enjoy that little jaunt? Using the claw to fill in these single placings. Oh, I nearly forgot that there's two there. Quite a few up here actually. Oops, didn't have a diamond on my pen then. All right, oh, I spotted one there. And more wax is coming off. This doesn't often happen to me, so I might change out my wax for next time. Right, let's do those H's next at the bottom there. Got a little flurry of them there. Ooh, it's like chocolate brown. That would definitely be a colour name that I would use. Chocolate brown. This would be a milky chocolate, wouldn't it? This colour. Not one of those dark, bitter chocolates. Right. What's next? We've got quite a few different colours here, but I might actually open up the next section because I think they will run on. Oh, hello. Oh, Peepo. I'm going to put, I'll stop at the eye there. peep in. Okay, was I right? There's not actually that many that continue, but there are some 7s up here. Sometimes it's worth checking that though, isn't it? Extending out the section a little bit. I have no idea now what time we're on because I have stopped and started the video. So I'm going to do a few more and then I'll probably leave it there. So we'll do some of the crosses. X, should I say? X marks the spot with this pretty pink. And I think that's what I would call this colour, pretty in pink. Oh, I nearly started singing then. Because there was that song, wasn't there, from the film. Oh, talking about singing, by the way, I did mention to Ben about my idea of putting his singing in the background of one of my videos or at the end and something, and his response was absolutely no way, never. So you may well be relieved to hear that, but that ain't happening. He didn't even consider it for a second. Number 5, so I'm going to do now. Ooh, I love that click when they go clunk into place. This section's going to be really pretty to do, isn't it? There's lots of light colours in this one. I think that's it for number 5s that I can see anyway. Sorry if that's not the case and you're screaming at me too. There's one over there. Where? Over there. Right, let's do the EF sign. By the way, my nail colour that I've put on this time, I don't really like. I thought I'd leave it on, see if I got used to it, but no, I'm not that keen. And I do like greys, but I think it's probably too cool a tone for my skin tone, and it sort of jars a little bit, I think. So I'm going to have to spend an hour getting it all off again. And putting on a different colour, but again, it's good to experiment sometimes. It's just with this type of, it's like that LED gel nail polish. It does take a lot of getting off, but there's no avoiding that. So, right, I'm going to go to the number 7s. Where did I put the number 7? Oh, there it is. Put it in the wrong place. Just to fill in a few of those again. This was the shell colour, wasn't it? This number 7. Shell grey. That isn't grey. I mean, my nails are grey. Yes, good example. Good timing, that. All planned, of course. My nails are grey. Do you think that colour's grey when you look at them together? No. Do you remember ages ago there was that picture of a dress and some people saw that it, or thought it looked blue and white, I think it was, and some people thought it looked black and white. I think that was it. And there was a whole debate going on about it. I wonder if you think they look grey and it's my eyes that are not seeing grey, or whether you agree with me that that isn't grey. Ooh, we could start a whole debate nationwide. Is it grey or isn't it grey? Hey, that might be quite cool. Make my video go viral. Oh, I best be on best behaviour now. Oh no. Right, there's number 8. And I don't think there's many of them. There's a little bit in their eye. Who was this again? I think it was Jolteon, that's right. With this olivey green. I'm not looking at the number because I'm sure it won't be what I think it is. I think it's an olive green, this one. Any more 8s? Sometimes with these bees here, it's quite a similar colour and they catch me out, but I don't think I can see any more number 8s there. Right, have we got many A's? Capital A next. Oh look, I love this colour. There we are. It's a lovely colour, this one. And I'm sure it was a yellow green, which I agree with. Finally. Capital A's, there we are. A few down here. I knew I'd seen some somewhere. I feel like I've been really moany this video, and I'm not in a moany mood really. So I do apologise if you think I've been really moany. I've blamed the coffee. I think I should stick to tea. Better for my disposition, I think. Okay, can't see any more capital A's. Just having a quick little look. No, I think I've got them. So we'll do capital K. Oh, look at this pretty colour. It's like a peach, but a pale peach, because it hasn't got loads and loads of orange in this one. Just a hint. Ooh, peach. Reminds me of peach snaps. Have you ever had neat peach snaps over ice? It's yummy, yummy, yummy. And that was always my final drink of the night when I was out in my younger days, having a neat peach schnapps over ice. Yummy. Now it's more like, I'm not going to say cocoa, a cup of tea. But then I don't now have drinks after 7 o'clock if I can help it, unless I am out for the night, because I go to bed quite early. I know, you all think I'm some sort of party animal rock star chick. But no, I do like to go to bed quite early, but I like to read, so I like to read in bed. So I tend to not have any drinks after 7 o'clock if I can help it. But if I do, it's usually a cup of tea. So I think even if I'm out, I don't really like to have a drink sort of a couple of hours before I go to bed. Is that an age thing? Oh no. Oh no, probably is. Right, I am going to do the U. Let's see. Ooh, look at this bubblegum pink. Definitely. Back onto food again, aren't I? Oh, you know, with bubblegum, when you were younger, you used to put like, well, I won't say a brand name, but there was like a really, really bubbly bubble gum. And it used to be this colour, and you would put one big fat bubbly gum in your mouth and chew it, and then when it was ready, it had to be the right elasticity. Oh, how do you say it? Elasticity. To create the big bubbles, but then you sometimes put 2 or 3 in to create the ginormous bubbles. Oh, that was such fun. And then you'd go along and you could sit there for ages with this big bubble coming out of your mouth, and then someone would come along and prod it with their finger, and it would all just not inflate, what's the word, collapse. It would all just, yeah, collapse onto your cheek, and it would all be stuck all over your face. Yeah, fun. There was one as well, and I can't remember the brands, and I'm not going to say it anyway, even if I did. But there was one, and it had like a liquid inside. So you'd have the bubbly gum, and you'd bite into it, and this liquid would pour out. Can't remember what that was called anyway, but do you remember those? Don't quite remember what the point of those were really, because it just didn't really add much. Okay. Now I can see the odd number 1 there, so I'm just going to quickly pop that in. This blue colour. There. Right, and I think now I've got some more peas to do. I need a pea, please, Bob. That was a programme in the UK called Blockbusters, and they used to get, I will say children, but there were teenagers, there were older teenagers as well, probably doing either GCSEs or A-levels, and they used to go on to this quiz show, and there would be a what would you call it, like a honeycomb pattern with different letters on, and they had to get from one side to the other by answering correct questions to move along the board, and each answer started with the letter that they'd chosen. And so these teenagers used to have to say, "I'd like a pea, please, Bob," on telly, and everybody would have a little giggle. Oh dear. Bob, by the way, was the host of the quiz show. Bob, was it Hold Us? Something like that. Yep. But I tell you what, they did win some brilliant prizes. They would get, if they got from one side to the other, they would then go on to like the prize round, and they won holidays and all sorts. Really good. And if they lost, I think they got something like was it a dictionary and a weird hoodie. So, and then they would obviously, if they won, they would go to the next round and play against another school, another person from another school. Sorry, I'm just trying to get another J out of the pot and it wasn't having it, so there. Right, I think, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Do leave comments. And I hope to see you next time. In the meantime, enjoy your own diamond painting. Bye for now.